Let me call this meeting to order of the Sacramento Public Library Authority on Thursday, August 12th, 2021 at 3 p.m. to order. If the clerk could please call the roll to establish a quorum.
Angelique Ashby, Bobby Singh Allen, Don Natoli.
Here.
Eric Guerra.
Here.
Garrett Gatewood.
Here.
Kevin Spees.
Present.
Mai Vang.
Here.
Patrick Kennedy. Phil Cerna. Rich Desmond. Rick Jennings.
Here.
Sean Loloe. Sean Farmer. Sue Frost.
Here.
Tim Schaefer.
Here.
Sol Hernandez.
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Great. Thank you very much. Let's see if we could, if the clerk could please read the statement.
This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable system. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.net. Today's meeting will be repeated Monday, August 16th at noon on channel 14 and can also be viewed on Metro Cable 14's YouTube channel. The meeting will also be recorded via Zoom. A DVD copy will be available upon request no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. The full agenda, including reports, is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should raise their hand in the Zoom program. Please speak clearly when addressing the board and state your name for the
Recording
record.
in progress.
Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard. Please also note that participation in this teleconference via telephone rather than the Zoom app may result in your telephone number being visible to the public during the live broadcast and later telecasts of this meeting.
Great. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. If everyone could please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Madam Clerk, item number 2 on the agenda.
I'm seeing no hands raised in public comment.
Well, great. Thank you. Since there's no public comments on matters not on the agenda, then Madam Clerk, we'll go on to item number 3.
Item number 3, presentations. Bobby Singh Allen is here.
Great. Friends of the Sacramento Public Library.
Yes, thank you. My name is David Wagner. I'm president of the Friends Investing in Sacramento Public Library. Karen could not be here today and asked me if I could take her place to give you all an update. Friends Investing is a subsidiary nonprofit for the Friends. We were specifically set up to deal with endowments, bequests, larger gifts, and to appropriately invest those gifts so that they're earning money beyond what your standard money market account will give you. We're pleased to announce that the Friends and Friends Investing are establishing a Young Readers Fund, which is an endowment that will support the public library in nurturing young readers. Earnings from the fund will go towards materials and programs supporting these readers now and provide a steady stream of income for the library in the future to continue the program. We are even more pleased to announce that the Friends Board voted to name the fund in honor of Rivka Sass. We felt this was a very appropriate way to honor her 12 years of service to the Sacramento community. And those of us who haven't had problems with long-term memory yet, If we can remember back to the state of affairs 11, 12 years ago, before Rivka took over, there was a great deal of mistrust of the library and a concern if it could ever recover the prestige it once had in the eyes of the community. And I would say on behalf of the community, and certainly on behalf of the Friends, the answer there is yes. Where we are in the process, we're beginning to form an honorary committee. It's composed of community influencers, library lovers, bibliotech boosters. We have sent an invitation to members of the JPA to become members of the honorary committee. We thank those of you who have responded already. For those who haven't and haven't seen the invitation letter, check your office logistical support system, because it was probably sent to your office address and may not have reached you yet. A thumbs up for those who have RSVP'd already. We thank you. 2 thumbs up for those who have responded and included a donation with their response. It's a great way to kind of roll out the program. We're anticipating a more public rollout of this endowment and a campaign, probably starting mid-September. At this point, it's what folks in the business call the more quiet side of the campaign. But there certainly is every intent to go public community-wide with this endowment. And I think, wow, I don't know if the timer was on, but that's my report.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wagner. Always appreciate your getting right to the point and always fighting for all our youth and education. And congratulations to Rivka on that naming as well. Any questions from members of the board to Friends of the Sacramento Public Library? Seeing no questions, thank you again, Dave, and all the members of the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library and those that are contributing to the library in many ways from the community.
And I'll tell you what, on our end, the thanks to the board, we really think we've got that rare occasion for a win-win. It's a win for the youth of the community, and it's a win because we're able to honor a public servant who certainly deserves the honor.
Very well. Very good. I see a lot of claps over there. Well, thank you again, Dr. Wagner. Appreciate all your work. And Councilmember Jennings, I saw you unmuted. Did you have any comments there?
Just wanted to show my appreciation and congratulations for Rivka and for the foundation doing the work that they've done.
Great. Thank you very much. All right. Well, getting the day off to a good start here. Let's go to presentation 3.2. One of my favorite conversations here, and some of the great work that I've seen our library do, particularly right now in a time of need when we have a lot of working families trying to get back into the workforce, and helping our kids in the 0 to 5 range and more. Early learning and development presentations here. Who do we have today? I think it's Donna, right?
Donna Zick.
Okay, Donna.
Thank you, Chair Guerra. I'm going to share my screen here and give you some information. Hopefully everyone can see that. And my name is Donna Zick. I'm the Early Learning and Development Manager for Sacramento Public Library. And the Early Learning and Development Department creates programs and resources for adults with young children between the ages of 0 to 5 from birth until school age. And today I'm going to give you a quick overview of the library's early learning services and how they're part of the library's mission to support a literate community that is continuously discovering and learning and growing. So a critical thing to know about early learning is that it is all about opportunity, an opportunity to support a young brain that's born ready to learn. For example, language learning begins for a young child before birth. And by 6 months old, they've already begun restructuring their brain around the languages they hear. So when we focus on supporting young children and their parents and caregivers, we're also taking advantage of an opportunity to prepare that child to fully benefit from the investment in education when they start school. And those parents and caregivers are who a child learns from in the early years. They're a child's first and most important teacher. And studies have shown a critical importance of the parent or caregiver bond with a child and how it significantly supports brain development. So even when a child is in full-time care and receives outstanding support from a child care provider or a pre-kindergarten program, there are still more learning hours in a week that happen at home or in the grocery store or out in the community with their parent or caregiver. However, there are limited resources to help parents and caregivers increase their understanding around early learning. So libraries have a really critical role in that support. We're an important place where parents and caregivers can access information and activities and resources for them and their young child. So let me give you some numbers related to this opportunity. When a child is born, their brain is 25% of the size it will be as an adult, and it more than doubles in size in the first year. And by the time they're 5 years old, the age when we think about them going to school and starting to learn, their brain is 92% of the size it will be as an adult. So as you can see, there is a phenomenal amount of brain development that happens in the child's first 5 years. And according to Harvard Center on the Developing Child, in those first few years of life, more than 1 million new neural connections form every second in a young child's brain. So during all of that amazing brain growth, a young child's brain is getting ready to learn how to read. And how they do it doesn't necessarily look like classroom learning. For example, they need to have a good experience with books and learn to enjoy them so that there is motivation to do the hard work of learning how to sound out words when they begin to read. And they also need to hear a lot of words and learn what those words mean. And that is because you can learn the individual letter sounds of the alphabet and learn to sound out a word. But if a child doesn't know what a word means, even if they can't sound it out, they're not going to understand what they're reading. So one really important part of that preparation is sharing a home language. When parents and caregivers speak the language they know best with a child, they share a richer array of vocabulary, and the child learns more words. And that child is then able to learn that word in a different language, but they are already starting out with background knowledge about that word and how to use it. So otherwise, if they've never heard a word in any language, they have to start with learning that word and its meaning. So we're really excited to begin a second collaboration with Sacramento County Office of Education to provide virtual early learning workshops starting at the end of this year that includes information on how to support young dual language learners. So there are 5 activities that can be done at home to build up a child's vocabulary and support the development of pre-reading skills: talking, singing, reading, writing, and playing. And in the library's Every Child Ready to Read workshops, we walk adults through how these activities specifically support early learning. The library wants to help parents and caregivers recognize that they're already supporting their child's early learning and to help them discover new strategies to build early learning into activities that they enjoy doing together with their child. So this is done in 2 main ways. The library offers high-quality early learning programs, both in library branches and out in the community, that adults can enjoy doing with their young child. And secondly, we develop a range of information and resources to make it easier for parents and caregivers to add to their understanding about early learning and to put it in practice with their child. So let's talk about the programs first. The library offers programs because the more access children have to early learning experiences in the home and community, the more opportunities they have to develop the skills that will help them learn how to read. So it's important to note, we intentionally structure the library's early learning programs to expand access and reduce barriers to participation. So an adult does not need to sign up or register in advance for a program. They can just drop in with their child. There's no income qualifications. Additionally, there's no fees to participate in any of our programs. And we have locations all over Sacramento County, which makes access even easier. So one of the main programs you probably think of with young children in the library is Storytime. And every element of that program is designed by our librarians to support early learning. And prior to the pandemic, an average of 6,000 people each month participated in library story times. And currently we offer a range of virtual story times on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Another program we've been piloting are Explore and Learn programs, which are drop-in play-based programs that offer a variety of early learning activities. We've offered this program both in the library and brought it out to community sites. There's pictures here at WIC and Fairy Tale Town, and are now figuring out how to safely offer it outside in the coming months. And as I mentioned before, we also teach early learning family workshops using a nationally developed Every Child Ready to Read curriculum. And these last about an hour, are done in a storytime format so adults can bring children with them, and they're fun. So we'll be launching another set of virtual workshops in the coming months. We also have resources for families to check out and also use online. And thanks to funding from the California State Library, we have a variety of kits that are available for checkout. Read Together kits and Read Together with Your Baby kits contain a set of books around a theme, and they were designed to make it easier for families and childcare providers to find both diverse picture books and board books in both English and Spanish. We also have early learning kits, which have a fun educational toy inside that we've paired with a book to share. And all of our kits come with tip sheets in English and Spanish for adults to learn more. And online, adults can also sign up to get early learning demonstration videos emailed to them each week from Ready Rosie. And we have picture books available in a variety of ebook formats, including animated versions from BookFlix and iBox. And of course, one of the most important early learning resources is your local library and the fantastic staff that work there. Families can check out as many books as they can carry and come back and get more again and again. And libraries are one of the few places in the community that have dedicated children's spaces and dedicated staff to help. So the Early Learning and Development Department have been working hard to innovate so that we continue to provide support to families even when our traditional programs have been temporarily stalled. For the past few months, we've given out 4,000 Storytime to Go packs that include an early learning activity and a book. And there's going to be a new Storytime to Go pack available in mid-September as part of Latinx Heritage Month. We're also out in parks this summer, providing early learning activities through the Summer Explorer programs. There's a picture here of our setup in Kunsting Park. This is us using the new Street Lab furniture that we got through the Klein grant. And I want to thank a number of the authority board members who's helped promote the programs in your district. Every program that we have has been supported by a JPA member. Mayor Singh Allen, Supervisor Desmond, Supervisor Cerna, Councilmember Guerra, Lololi, and Vang. I understand Councilmember Lololi was out today in the park. So we've gotten great feedback from families about this program, and we're looking for funding to be able to have this out in the community more consistently. So to return back to my comment at the beginning, the opportunities around early learning are tremendous. There's so many ways the library is already helping to support families with young children, and we're always looking for new opportunities to expand this support. I welcome any ideas and questions you may have, and thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Actually, if you don't mind putting slide number 4 back up, because I think this is one that we always need to talk about, just from the science point of view of this, and one that when we start thinking about, oh, they're too young to learn. No, we should, I'll wait to them. They don't read till later on. But I think slide number 4 is one of those that there we go, right there.
Sorry. Yeah. There you go.
I mean, by year 1, 70% of the brain development. So, language, dual language, understanding of that. And even by year 3, it seems such a young age, but that 0 to 5 is just critical because they're pretty much at 90% capacity at that point. So thanks again for all the work that the library does and focusing on the fact that we do need to get early on and give our kids a chance to be the most that they can be by focusing early. Any questions from our board members for this presentation? No, seeing none, I want to thank you, Donna, and everyone for this great presentation. And Madam Clerk, again, I think this is exciting work that we're doing. If you can help, support these programs. I'd like to have further conversations how I could support these pop-ups in my council district. I think that was great that you guys were down over at Camellia Basic and in an area that's far away from a library. Some of our communities have no library nearby without transportation. So thanks again. And with that, thank you, Madam Clerk. I think we're now moving on to our next item here.
Item 4, closed session, conference with labor negotiators, Government Code Section 54957.6, agency designated representatives, lead negotiator Shalene Bennett, Rivka Sass, Christopher True, Kathy Crossway, and Johnny E. Employee organization, International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 39, AFL-CIO, covering all employees of the supervisory unit. And I will open the room now if we're ready.
Okay, thank you. For those that are watching from the public, we're going to go into closed session here, and our clerk is going to give all our board members a notice with a little blue square to pop into the closed session room.
Since we have a quorum, even in Sue's absence, I'll just take this opportunity to say that we have no reportable action from closed session.
Thank you very much, Council. Appreciate your report out on that. And since we do have a quorum, I'll go ahead and ask our executive team to we'll move on to the next item. Heather, Madam Clerk.
Item 5, executive team report.
I'll refer everyone to the written report. There's quite a lot of information this particular month, so please take a moment to read all of that. I do want to point out the Orangevale Library fact sheet. We had a soft opening last week. We like to work all the kinks out before we do a celebration. And so far, so good. People are very pleased with the library, and that first day we're quite happy with everything that they saw in the library. And also, please mark your calendars. You will be receiving a formal invitation for Saturday, September 25th for a grand opening celebration at the Orangevale Library. So I think, Jared, Kathy, do you have anything you'd like to add?
You guys have a very thorough staff report there, so I appreciate all the great work. And if there's no members with questions.
All right, thank you.
Great. Thank you all very much for all that great work. I know a lot happens in between our board authority meetings, and appreciate the report out here. Madam Clerk, item number 6.
Item 6, information.
Any questions from the board on the information items? Again, I do want to thank Johnny and Jared and Kathy and team for all of the work here. I don't see any questions raised from the board, so we'll go ahead and move on to our actionable items. Madam Clerk, item number 7.
Item 7, consent.
Okay, we have the consent calendar here. Can I get a motion from consent?
Motion to move consent.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been seconded. Madam Clerk, is there any comments from the public?
No, that was not our doing. Okay. All right, good.
Chair Guerra?
Okay. Do you think there's
see,
any need for 2 people to be out there, or can one person just handle the rest?
Mr. Gatewood, I think thank you very much.
Chair Guerra, Director Frost has her hand raised.
I see that. Thank you very much for catching that. Director Frost, I think actually there's a very good item here that you'll have to comment on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Aguirre. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to comment now or if you were going to take a little time after we vote on consent. And I just didn't to go by without having some comment regarding our good friend Jane Weiss.
No, we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and do the action, and then we can commence with the celebratory part of it.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Any comments from the public? If not, then go ahead. We'll go ahead and bring it back to the board. No questions from the board. Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll on the consent calendar.
Angela Gashby. Bobby Singh Allen. Bobby Singh Allen. Don Natoli.
Aye.
Eric Guetta.
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood.
Aye.
Kevin Spees.
Aye.
Mai Bang.
Yes.
Patrick Kennedy. Bill Cerna. And Rick Jennings.
Aye.
Sean Lolowe.
Aye.
Sean Farmer. Sue Frost.
Aye.
Tim Schaefer.
Aye.
Saul Hernandez.
Aye.
And Bobby Singh Allen. Motion passes with 10 members present.
Very good. Well, congratulations. And I want to turn all our board members to Resolution 21-26 that was just approved in recognition of one of our library's champions here. And to talk a little bit about that, I'll maybe pass it over to Board Member Frost.
Thank you, Chair Guerra. Well, I'm excited to take a couple minutes to share a little bit about my experience with Jane Weiss. And I know Jane has been a huge part of Friends of the Library over time. She was one of those members in the Orangevale community who was entrenched in, Rotary and community service and giving back. And she was loved by everyone. She was a member of our Orangevale Rotary Club for 24 years. And she was an educator. And so she was an educator at Del Campo High School, and then she became the principal at Casa Roble High. And she was married to Bill Weiss, who unfortunately passed on April 15, 2015. But she kept moving forward, advocating. And I think it was probably in 2016 that I really got to know Jane. She was one of the Friends of the Library that approached me during my campaign for county supervisor and said, if we support you, will you help us get our new library in Orangevale? And so they basically asked me if I would never let the dream die. They wanted to make sure I wouldn't let the dream die. And I promised I wouldn't let the dream die, that I would carry it forward. And I know there were like 4 or 5 other supervisors before me who had advocated for a nicer library in Orangevale. Jane was one of those people that was always involved in fundraisers. She was helping with the Barnes and Noble Book Fair, the Bodacious Book Sale. She was a long time speaker in the community, giving vocational talks and promoting the library. And she was one of the activists who was part of advocating for a grant. I guess the Sacramento Library got a federal grant for $200,000 in 2003 for a permanent library. And so they went through a lot of public process. There was a lot of work over time. And the idea was always that they would have this beautiful library on the hill. And I think at that time it was a $10 million library. By the time I came into the picture, it had escalated to 15 million just by virtue of the cost of construction increasing each year. And, it was always one of those things where they would get the grant for the architecture. And I think Rivka may be able to correct me if I'm wrong, because this is probably before my time, but it was like they would get, there would be a bond measure. There was a bond measure and then it passed and then the governor didn't sign it. And there was money that they got, but was enough just to do the drawings, not to do the library. And then in 2013, there was another bond measure that was introduced at the state legislature that passed. Oh, that's the one that the governor didn't sign. So Jane said to me once, she said, I'm probably going to die before this library gets, she was joking. But I said, no, we're going to get this done. Time went by and Jane she was diagnosed with cancer and she passed away on July 31, 2020. And the strange irony is that Jane did not get to see she was the heart of the driving force, a big part of the driving force, but actually the Friends of the Library. they don't, I don't know if we realize sometimes how much they do, because they are the heart of driving, raising money and supporting initiatives that help the library authority. And Jane was one of them. And so, we actually, the community, and Rivka, maybe you can tell that story, because I don't think I was in on it, but I think it was the community that wanted to do something to remember Jane Weiss. And I think I'm going to let Rivka maybe share a little bit about that. But I think what I wanted to say is that she held me to my promise. She reminded me regularly. I know I was hammering on I know I was a pain, but that Friends of the Library, I couldn't break my promise. I had to try to do something. And in the end, we didn't get the big library on the hill. But I told everyone in the community that sometimes you have to adjust your expectations. And if we adjust our expectations, we can get something really nice and way better, and it will be wonderful. And you know what? They were like, okay, we can do that. And they adjusted their expectations, and Rivka and the Library Authority helped us figure it out, and the board members helped us figure it out. So I just want to say thank you, to the Library Authority for voting, to name the community room after Jane Weiss. She's an important part of Orangevale to all of us, and it means a lot to those of us that are in the community. And we will always remember her, and she'll be in our hearts, and may she rest in peace. So thank you for letting me share a little bit about Jane today.
Thank you, Board Member Frost. I know, Rivka, you had some interaction there, and appreciate that opportunity.
Yes.
And then I have Board Member Saul right after that.
I just want to add that, yes, the Friends of the Library reached out, and we had been talking with Director Frost about how do we honor Jane, because she was such a part of this. I have notes going back to my second month on the job. She came downtown and met with me about the need for an Orangevale library. It was always top of mind for her. And on my screen right now, David Hillier, who's our facilities manager, is actually next to Director Frost. And I have to give a shout out to David, because he was there on site so much of the time to make sure that that library is beautiful. And when you see it, you'll agree. And I think honoring Jane through the naming of the community room, because as you look at her life, she was all about community. And it's the perfect win-win. So it was very easy to honor the wishes of the Friends of the Library by naming the room for her. And I think it will be valued by the community for a very, very long time to come. So thank you.
No, thank you very much, Director Sauce. Board Member Hernandez.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to echo Supervisor Frost's comments, and appreciate her speaking about her contributions to the San Antonio Unified District. And we immensely appreciate her for all what she's done in our district. And thank you for pointing that out. So thank you so much. That's all I wanted to say.
No, it's important that we can recognize those who have committed so much to our public library. So thank you all for your vote of this resolution to name the community room for Jane Eaton Weiss. And I'm sure we'll have more work in the Orangevale Library to come. So great. Okay. Well, thank you, Madam Clerk. Our next item on the agenda here.
Item 8.1, revised and restated MOU with the supervisory unit of Local 39 effective July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2024.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of the parties' work on this. And with that, let me bring it over to Madam Clerk. Do we have members of the public signed up to speak on this item?
We do not.
Seeing no members of the public, let me bring this back to the board. Any action from the board? I'll ask for a motion from the board on this item. If not, I'll go ahead and I'll move the item here. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a second.
There we go. There's a second here by Board Member Jennings, or Board Member Laloie, I think beat him out to it. And any other comment? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Angelique Ashby, Bobby Singh Allen, Don Natoli,
Aye.
Eric Guerra,
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood, Garrett Gatewood, Kevin Spees,
Aye.
Mai Vang,
Yes.
Patrick Kennedy, Bill Cerna, Rich Desmond, Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sean Laloe,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
Tim Schaefer,
Aye.
Saul Hernandez.
Aye.
Was Garrett Gatewood still here? The motion passes with 9 members present.
Great. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. We'll go ahead and go on to the next item.
Item 8.2, fiscal year 2021 to 22 revised unrepresented personnel resolution effective July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2022.
Okay, again, I want to thank all the parties for this great work. I know we've been in a lot of conversations over the last few months between the parties. Madam Clerk, any members of the public signed up to speak?
I have none.
Fantastic. Well, we'll go ahead and then let me bring this back to the board then. Madam, members of the board, any action or comment here? I'll ask for a motion. See, Board Member Hernandez.
So moved.
It's been moved by Board Member Hernandez.
Second.
Seconded by Board Member Laloe. Any questions or comments from the board on this item? Seeing none. Okay, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Angelique Ashby, Bobby Singh Allen, Don Natoli,
Aye.
Eric Guerra,
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood, Kevin Spees,
Aye.
Mai Vang,
Yes.
Patrick Kennedy, Cerna, Rich Desmond, Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sean Laloe,
Aye.
Sean Farmer, Sue Frost,
Aye.
Tim Schaefer,
Aye.
Saul Hernandez.
Aye.
Motion passes with 9 members present.
Very good. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Let's go ahead and go to item 8.3. Madam Clerk.
Revised management broadband compensation structure.
Okay. Again, this has been our personnel department's been at work all summer long here. And Madam Clerk, do we have members of the public signed up to speak on this item?
We do not.
Very good. Then let me bring this back to the board again. Members of the board, any comments or an action? I see Board Member Jennings. Oh no. Oh, his mute's off. Let me go to Board Member Laloe over here.
I didn't have any comments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, very good. Then I'll ask for a motion on this item.
Motion to move.
It's been moved by Board Member Laloe. And is there a second?
There is a second.
Been seconded by Board Member Jennings. Any comments from the board? I see no hand raised. So Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Angelique Ashby, Bobby Singh Allen, Don Foley,
Aye.
Eric Guerra,
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood, Kevin Spees,
Aye.
Mai Vang,
Yes.
Patrick Kennedy, Bill Cerna, Rich Desmond, Rick Jennings,
Yes.
Sean Laloe,
Aye.
Sean Farmer, Sue Frost,
Aye.
Tim Schaefer,
Aye.
Saul Hernandez.
Aye.
Motion members present.
Very good. Well, thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, let's move on to item 8 point. I got lost. Where are we at here? 8.4.
8.4. California State Library budget update, infrastructure funds.
Okay, Rivka.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Guerra. So we thought this should be an action item. We're very excited about the governor's budget, which included $500 million for libraries, 439 of which is for infrastructure projects. We have reached out to the state library for clarification because as a JPA, our buildings are owned by many jurisdictions with many needs, including the city of Sacramento, the county, the city of Elk Grove, and others. So we're waiting to hear on that. In the meantime, we're recommending that we put together a working group composed of board members who may be interested in capital projects that can be completed before June 30th, 2026, and to include staff in that process so that hopefully we can get more than the $10 million that was outlined thus far, because again, our jurisdictions are a little more complicated than your average library system.
Well, thank you very much, Rivka. I know we've got, we're reaching out to the state librarian on this issue as well to try to give us a different consideration, given that we are a JPA, which is a unique structure than other entities here. The only question I had here, maybe this is a question for Jennifer, because I want to make sure we're nimble because we want to get this work done quickly so that we can not lose time. But does creating an ad hoc committee, how would that affect our Brown Act requirements or our ability to move in this manner here?
So an ad hoc committee, assuming that you appoint an ad hoc that is fewer than a quorum of the board, would not be a Brown Act body. So you would have the ability to have meetings that be a little more flexible in terms of the timing of meetings, but still give board members who are interested an opportunity to weigh in on what should be the sort of the course of applications potentially.
Very good. Okay, then and let me bring it back here, Rivka. I think what I want to make sure is that we also get a good representation from the individual cities and counties, but I want to maybe have some flexibility in reaching out to some of the board members, to those who have time to be on an ad hoc, and to make sure that we get appropriate representation from our county. If that pleases the board, do we need an action for that, Jennifer, or is that something that we can just put together in just moving forward with direction?
We don't need an action at the meeting today to put the ad hoc together. You can ask people to let you know if they're interested, and you can appoint.
Perfect. Okay, so let me bring it back to the board. If there's no objection to this, then what I'll do is I'll reach out to the board members, or if you have an interest in extra work or extra meetings, please reach out to Rivka and myself so that we can put together a diverse small ad hoc to piece together some work for the board, and also try to go after these state dollars, because other regions will. So Board Member Vang, I know you've raised your hand there. I know you've expressed some interest.
Thanks, Chair Guerra. Rivka, I just want to say thank you. I think this is really a great opportunity for our JPA and our region. I'm definitely interested in the ad hoc. And another request that I would have, if I'm so lucky to be on the ad hoc, is for all the jurisdiction also to provide kind of like a facility update of all their libraries. I think as an ad hoc, I think it'd be important for us to just do an analysis on what the upgrades are needed, any infrastructure, so that collectively we can make that decision as well.
Well, I hate to say that Jared and David are one step ahead of you, but I think we have a pretty good. Jared, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so we have some internal work that we've been doing to actually do assessments of our building and what's needed. And we've also reached out to the respective jurisdictions as well.
That's great.
So we have very good ideas on what needs to be done and what the highest priorities are out of the system. of which everything is high priority.
Right. But could I also mention, I know Director Gatewood has mentioned interest in this on behalf of the city of Rancho Cordova, as well as Elk Grove purchased a building. So there's a building in hand.
We can also purchase a building. We want. Hey, we really want a library.
That's true. Okay, well, who gets a building? Yeah, somebody else get a building?
Hey, man,
okay.
Don't want buildings.
No, thank you, Vice Chair Gatewood. Actually, we had already, whether he wanted to or not, we were going to put him on this, given the fact that he'll be chairing the board next year. But and then I see also Board Member Spies here, also interested in as well. So thank you very much for raising your hand. Again, you don't have to raise your hand right now. We can make sure that we connect with everybody and try to get this group going as well.
Mr. Chair?
If there are no...
Yeah, I do have a question.
Don? Oh, go ahead, Don.
Yeah, real quick, just maybe for Rivka. I know Director Farmer, I don't think is on the call today, but several years ago, we had worked with the city of Galt in that facility to look at some opportunity to do some modest improvements. I know some of that was done through the libraries or city efforts, but I don't think it was all included, and actually some significant dollars were expended to do some architectural and community survey work and so forth. I just didn't want to lose track of that, Rivka. I know you would recall that we actually had some county staff, and they've had a change in city managers. Obviously, there's been some turnover on the council, and so I don't know from the priority standpoint where that fits. Obviously, would require some contribution potentially from the city to actually achieve the work that was contemplated. But I wanted to be sure that didn't get lost in the mix here. And again, I don't know where it sits, and Sean and the city representatives there would be knowledgeable about that, I trust.
Well, thank you, Don. I think what I'll ask is Jared to make sure that he includes that in the report for the ad hoc. So as we kind of piece this together, and then as we get a little more information from the state librarian, that we can figure out how do we best put the best application forward to capture as much dollars and also to complete some of those projects. So
sure.
Great. Thanks. Well, thank you, board members. Here, what I'll do is if we're missing representation or we have an unbalanced present representation, we'll get back to you guys on this and give a report out at our next meeting here. Great. Seeing no other questions, any questions from the public on this, Madam Clerk?
No, I don't see any questions from the public.
Okay. Madam Clerk, we'll go on to the next item.
Item 8.5, Department of Energy e-mobility grant application.
All right. This is one of my favorites, where we're working with two agencies. Some of us are doing double duty here on this item, but let's go ahead and hear a little bit about this. This is our last item, but an exciting one.
And I'm going to turn it over to Kathy Crossway.
Hello. Yes, I too am very excited about this opportunity. We were approached by SMUD and a few other people with the opportunity of really enhancing electric charging access and transportation that goes with that into areas of Sacramento that are at risk. We have some other things going on also dealing with electric charging at the Southgate Library that are completely grant funded. What this particular grant will do is really raise the bar. We don't know, we won't know if we get the award until October, but if the award does come through, we are positioning Sacramento Public Library to be very much a part, an integral part of bringing electric charging access, training, and information to these at-risk neighborhoods. And the grant would also give us money to go towards 2 additional kind of training / bookmobiles that we are terming showmobiles, or Sacramento Hub on Wheels. So the partnership itself is exciting, and then it brings in a lot of very, very big players in the community around electric vehicles. And partnering with them is really going to create more opportunities for the library.
Very good. Well, thank you, Kathy. It's exciting here. And I know we're getting close on time here for some of our board members. So Heather, do we have any members of the public signed up to speak?
No, we do not.
Great. Well, then let me bring it back to the board. And let me just say with this that we are in a federal non-attainment zone where that if we don't meet our air quality standards, we could lose as a region transportation dollars. So this is one example where the public library not only is acting in the best of our public health, given today's poor air that's outside, but also in an effort to make sure that we don't lose our federal transportation dollars by helping us improve our air quality as well. So win-win all around. And with that, let me bring it back to the board for an action.
I move the item, Mr. Chair. This is Member Natoli.
Thank you, Board Member Natoli. It's been moved by Board Member Natoli. Is there a second?
Councilmember Jennings will make the second.
Councilmember Jennings will make the second here. And any questions from the board? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Angelique Ashby, Bobby Singh Allen, Don Natoli,
Aye.
Eric Guerra,
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood,
Aye.
Kevin Spees,
Aye.
Mai Bang,
Yes.
Patrick Kennedy, Bill Cerna, Rich Desmond, Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sean Laloe,
I think he may have just popped off here.
Okay. Sean Farmer, Sue Frost,
Aye.
Tim Schaefer,
Aye.
Saul Hernandez.
Aye.
The motion passes with 9 members present.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Well, let's cross our fingers and hope we get that grant that's close to $500,000 for a lot of good work for the library. Madam Clerk, our last item here.
Item 9, reports, ideas, and questions from board members.
Any comments from the board? Seeing none, then thank you everyone for your time. Appreciate all this great work today. And Board Member Hernandez, I see you went off.
No, I just wanted to. No, we're good.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, thank you. Well, thank you everyone for all your time in a very productive meeting. We got a lot done today in a course of an hour and a lot of both recognitions and actually putting more work on our plate too. So with that, we stand adjourned at 4:06 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Great. Thank you.
Stay safe.